here tonight, and nobody has bought a probate deal. So that's how to gain a competitive advantage as a real estate investor, is defined marketing channels or marketing strategies that not everybody and their brother is doing. So Giovanna, tell them what we did.
Right, so we did take a little field trip about 2 weeks ago. My strategy for getting a deal was to send direct mail to probates, pretty much. So we took a field trip down to the courthouse down in Harrisburg, and we looked through what it used to be that you had to go in, you had to use a computer to have access to the probates that they have to all the estates. And it turns out now that you actually can have access to it by paying a small subscription, a yearly subscription, and you can just access it through your own computer, your own desktop at home.
How much was that?
And it was $100 subscription.
Per year.
Per year, so not monthly.
So you signed up, and then what'd you do?
So then, pretty much, so I had access to it. Pretty much just asked right there what I had to look at using the system, and there was like a section on there, the letter.
So why don't you tell them what they're looking at?
Yeah, so right up here, once you have access to it, you can set up the dates from which you want to look at. So I set up the dates of like the estates from August to October. And once you scroll through them, you look through the documents that each, I guess, person has. And then you click on the letters of testamentary. That's where you find the people that, I guess, inherited.
Either the executor or what they call the PR, the personal representative. They'll all be listed right there in the letters of testamentary.
Yes, I went through about 3 months worth of these, and pretty much mailed out, direct mail to each of these individuals that had pretty much, I mean, how would you say it?
They were just representing the estate. They were handling the affairs for the estate.
Yes. And
so you mailed 66 total, right?
I mailed 66 total.
And how much did that cost? About $66, $50, something like that?
Yeah. Coaches, I learned that postage stamps are actually pretty expensive.
So Giovanna's never done this before, right? So before we got started, I told her we need to embrace technology, because it's not good enough to just get a lead. You've got to get a lead and follow a systematic process to extract the maximum value out of every lead. Most deals are done on touches 5 through 12. So if you're a real estate investor that only follows up with your sellers 4 times, and Giovanna does 5 times, she's going to get many more deals than you would. So we embrace technology and built a workspace platform for Giovanna. And what it does is when she mailed these letters out, she had a phone number. That phone number rings to a call center. They answer the phone 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And you sent 66 letters, and what happened?
And I got 1 call back and a couple of do not call backs.
You didn't tell me that part. You didn't tell me
Yeah, I got a couple of do not call backs.
She's the best.
Yeah.
But she got 1 call.
I think I got 1 call.
1 call. That was actually
Only takes one.
It only takes one. That's exactly right. So, Giovanna, let me take over real quick. So the seller called. Giovanna texts me at like midnight or 1 in the morning or something and says, "You're not going to believe this. I got a lead." And I'm like, I do believe it, because we do it every day of our life, but she didn't believe it. So the next morning we called Patty.
Patty, yeah.
And in, I don't know, 10 minutes, we discovered what Patty's needs were, we discovered what her problems were, and we were trying to figure out a way to solve them. Before we could do that, though, we had to actually go inspect the property. I don't believe in buying properties sight unseen if you can help it. There's some situations where you have to, but we were able to go inspect this. So Giovanna and my acquisitions rep, Bill Fisher, raise your hand, Bill, they went and they met with Patty. And Giovanna, what happened when you met with Patty?
We met with Patty. We took a look at the house. It was a hoarder house. They had a lot of
Hoarder house, you said?
Hoarder house. Yeah. It had a lot of belongings. Pretty much just inspected the property, and I guess the biggest concern with the property was just that there was a highway in the back.
Do you guys know that 83, the construction there, that they're widening the streets, and they took an entire row of houses
between Union
out?
Plaza and Colonial Park?
We're the house row right behind that. So they are putting up a sound barrier, though, which was an important part of this deal.
So we took a look at the property, and then pretty much after that, just crunched like numbers to see what our offer would be on the property, an offer that would make sense to them and to us as well as investors.
So here's what happened. They wanted 100,000, and when we talked to her that morning, she was fairly firm. You know, they wanted 100. There's 4 heirs to this estate. Giovanna, are there 4 heirs? 3 heirs?
Yeah, there were 3 heirs.
3 heirs. One of a set of twins. I've got twins, so that's always near and dear to me. But twins were arguing over what they were going to take and not take, and so they were firm at 100,000. And we knew in 5 seconds we could not pay 100,000. So what ultimately happened is we offered 70,000. In fact, I think Bill, did you make that offer? Someone made the offer of 70,000, and they said nope, not taking it. So after a little more research, we decided to come back at 75,000. We thought that was a fair price for all parties. The twins did not think so they said no. We finally offered 80,000, and I told Patty when I made that call, I was at my mastermind meeting down in Alabama. I stepped out to call Giovanna's seller, and I told Patty right then and there, listen, I'm going against everything I believe in because the last time I called you, I was firm at 75. However, I want to make it work, and I would be willing to go to 80,000 if you sign a contract immediately and completely take it off the market. So we're getting that deal signed this Saturday. They could not be because the twins are out of town, so we're signing this deal this Saturday. And let me show you what she bought. That's the house for $80,000. And here's what we're going to make. We think on the low end we would get 150 once it was totally rehabbed. Great lot, great school district, all brick home. We bought it for 80. We're going to spend about 25,000 in rehab. Giovanna, what are we going to do to this house?
Make it look very pretty. Definitely take out all the belongings inside. Hope that wall is built behind.
Patty told me,
yeah,
we had a long conversation about that wall.
Yeah.
Tell about the kitchen stove and.
Oh, it had some very neat antique looking.
It was so
stuff.
old, it started to get value again. It was like, you know how that get.
I do.
It was awesome looking, not for a flip, but
It was appreciating on its own.
Right.
But yeah, just pretty
So
much.
like, are we going to do mechanicals? Are we doing HVAC?
Yeah, I'm not too sure on what we're doing.
we're
Okay.
doing a roof.
You
You're doing a new, putting in a heat pump.
Okay.
It has oil, doesn't have gas available there.
Okay.
Redoing the kitchen and bath. The floors.
So
are
catch
great.
that, guys. It has oil. We would never flip a house with oil. We would always convert it to an electric heat pump, or gas would be preferred.
Hardwood floors are awesome looking. Walls are good shape.
Okay.
But does need windows.
Okay.
But it's a solid brick home.
We won't spend more than 25.
Yeah, maybe a couple grand more depending on what Giovanna picks
I'm
out.
gonna put a 10% contingency there, guys. So this is a fix and flip analyzer. We built this in Excel. It's super easy. I actually had an app built on my phone so that all of our team just has a little cool app. But we look at this deal and we think Giovanna's gonna make about $25,000. And we have accounted, I think, for just about everything that's going to happen. Closing costs, we have $2,500. That covers transfer tax, title insurance, and so forth. We do not pay points, we don't pay appraisals, we don't pay anything. We have private lenders that fund 100% of our transactions, and we'll be doing so for Giovanna as well. We estimate a 10% rehab contingency, so we always assume we're gonna go over by 10%. We also say that Steve Swineford, stand up quick. If you don't know Steve and need insurance, he covers every one of my properties and just about everyone I know's properties. He is an awesome guy to know. So if you don't know, get to know him. He'll cover that policy for $1,000. Holding cost, mortgage payments, utilities, sewer, water, trash, heating during the winter is a holding cost. We say that's going to cost $6,300. Then we're going to pay Matt to sell it, list it and sell it. We're going to pay him 5% or $7,500. And then when we sell, they're going to charge us more closing costs. But at the end of the day, Gio, you should make about 26 grand.
It's very exciting.
So it is. First deal. How long have you been at this? 2 weeks?
2 weeks.
I know people that have been at this 20 years and have not done what Gio did in 2 weeks. So
Yeah,
I love
really.
you, girl.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Any questions for her? I'm not kidding you. We were freezing to death because we went on the worst day and we had to park like 10 blocks from the courthouse. Well, we were there for 15 minutes, and that's the last thing I did with Giovanna. I'm not kidding you. I did nothing. She mailed him. She took the call. She called the lady back. I didn't negotiate the deal, but everything else you did.
Right, yeah. I mean, what I took away from it was definitely just like the actions gives you possibilities. Just taking actions,
I like
even
that.
whether it's small, you grow possibilities out of them. You never know what could possibly happen. Just taking little steps forward. So, as I continue, and as anyone that is continuing, just like take minor steps and just focus on where you want to go. So, yeah, thank you, Zach.
And I would just tell you though, real quick, to just talk about her. She's been to every one of these meetups. She is just driven. She is dedicated to making this work for herself. And you know, I think karma's real, and I think maybe a little of that has rubbed off on you, because it is pretty incredible that she's got her first deal in 2 weeks, sending 66 letters. I've sent 66,000 letters before and not got a deal. So, good job.
That is good.
Okay.